Guys, welcome back to my channel. Here is what we know so far about what's going on in the submarine and the submarine that's missing visiting the Titanic. So first of all, there's a bunch of rescuing teams going to search for this missing submarine that had left on Thursday. So there was 5 people on board in the submarine that submerged, and it's one of the biggest submarines that could actually visit the Titanic. And so they went and they paid about $250,000 to go and visit the Titanic through the submarine. However, the submarine is now missing. Now, why do people want to, of course, go visit the Titanic? Of course, it's because of the fascination behind the history and what happened. And what happened over 100 years ago, how the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank down to the below, like at the bottom of the sea, and now because it had broken in two, it's over 2,600 feet long for visiting the submarine, for visiting or doing the tour. So basically what usually happens on the tour, so you start off in usually the tour starts off in St. John's in Newfoundland, Canada, and each dive to the Titanic takes around 8 hours, so including there and back, so 4 hours each. And the first dive happened in 2021, and each expedition claims to have a scientific purpose where divers can look at the wreck's decay for research, media production, and deep sea testings of materials. According to the website, 2 more trips have been planned for June next year. Who's going to go? I hope no one decides to go after what happened here. Why, of course, the tours? Because it's the history behind it. It's what happened, what happened over 100 years ago. More than 1,500 passengers had passed away on the cruise ship out of 2,200 passengers, and again, it's 2,600 feet apart on the ocean floor. So it's a pretty wide ride of like exploring the whole ship, right? And what do we know about the tourists on the submarine? The submarine is over 7.6 meters in length and can dive to 4,000 meters. It travels around 3.5 miles per hour. Ocean Gate's Titan submersible is made out of carbon fiber and weighs around 10,432 kilograms. It can hold 5 people, a pilot, 3 paying guests, and a content expert, and usually has capacity for 4 days worth of emergency oxygen. So the Titan submersible is the only one of the 3 submarines owned by Ocean Gate able to dive deep enough to reach the Titanic. Another vessel called the Polar Price & Co., owned by Horizon Maritime, is used to transport the submersible to the wreckage site and offer support, although it stays at the surface. And it is supposed to communicate via text. So the undated handout photo is issued by American Photo Archive of Ocean Gate Expeditions. According to CBS News reporter David Pogue, there is no way to communicate with the vessel otherwise, as the radio and GPS don't work underwater. And he also revealed a lot of the submersible is made out of the shelf improvised parts, all controlled by just one button. And for example, so you can control it with an Xbox game controller, and which has been one of the things that they did was use it through an Xbox game controller. And so the important thing is the capsule that contains the people and the air that was co-designed with NASA, the University of Washington. The part that keeps you alive is rock solid. So he also said the insides were sealed inside, so they're sealed inside, like bolted shut. There's no way out. There's one little window for them to see through. And I believe you do have to sign a waiver. It says here, so recall reading a waiver which explained the experimental submarine has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or unalived. And then we know what happened on this tour. So they left St. John's, Newfoundland on June 16th, and it arrived on June 18th and 19th, and still near. Oh my god, and seems to still be near the Titanic. However, it lost contact June or Sunday at around 5 p.m. Eastern time, and so now they're saying that they hear knocking. I'm not too sure exactly how they're hearing that. So I guess the rescue team has obviously some kind of communication. Potentially could be them knocking, and then who was on the Titanic submersible when it went missing was Hamish Harding, who is a British billionaire and explorer. He was on the submarine. He warned on social media over the weekend that his voyage would probably be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023. And of course, they can't do that in the wintertime because of the bad conditions that we get here in Canada, of course. His company, Action Aviation, said on Sunday that the sub had a successful launch and Hamish is currently diving. We have Pakistan businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Sulman Dawood were also on the board. And then we also have two more who are yet to be confirmed, which is Paul Henry Nargeolet, which is believed to be a French explorer. And then Stockton Rush, chief executive of Ocean Gate, is also to be on the vessel. And then the rescue team here, I'm pretty sure they're doing as much as they can. So John Moger of the U.S. Coast Guard told the media that we anticipate there's somewhere between 70 and 96 full hours of oxygen left, and I did the math, so they should have 24 hours. However, that was from Monday, and it is now Thursday. So if they had the full 96, they would have 24 hours. But as said on the news and everywhere else that they have way less than that, or they don't have any at all at the moment, or at all, I mean. And has confirmed its entire focus is on the board. Their families, while Horizon Maritime has sent a second vessel called the Horizon Arctic to help the search. Several government agencies and deep-sea firms are said to have offered their assistance. The search is being led by Boston Coast Guard and has two prongs: the surface search in case the submersible has returned to the surface, and an underwater sonar search. Of course, there's aircrafts, submarines, and buoys searching the vessel. I would like to know how the aircraft, they must be able to detect something through underwater. And then what could have happened. So this is what I'm going to stop reading the article and talk about what I think could have happened, and then the theories behind it. So what I think could have happened is something, depending if they got too close to the actual ship. I don't know how far they're supposed to stay away with the submarine. My thought is that it could have got caught on something that they can't let go of because they're trapped in the submarine, so they can't even move the submarine. The controller could have died if they didn't bring a charger, and if they actually used a controller. Now they can't. And then somewhere they got, and because it's pretty far down, it's about a 4-hour ride down to the Titanic, they could have definitely lost service to keep in touch. That would be my 3 thoughts there. There are some theories where they never actually got on the ship. What if they did it just to commit, unaliving themselves? I don't think that's why they would do that. I really don't. However, they never got on the ship. And then theories are that they're already passed on too, on top of that. So I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below, because this is really fascinating of how how things go missing so easy in the ocean or the sea. It is wild to me how easy, that one plane a couple of years ago that went missing and they still haven't found it. Or I think even people go into these deep dives and they just go missing out of nowhere. One guy, I think his name is Josh. He's a big YouTuber on here, and he talks about this one guy who went into a cave that was a forbidden place to go, and he went anyways, and they still can't find him to this day. There's so many weird things that go on in this in seas and oceans, And I feel like that stuff doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like, I don't know, or maybe it does and I haven't noticed until now, because this is really fascinating to me because, like, they think about the risks. It's so risky to go on a submarine. Of course, you're paying $250,000. Does that not say risky to me? It does. Like, wouldn't you think of that as risky? Or even like the fact that you have to pay $250,000. If they found it safe, why can't more people do it for a cheaper cost? I'm curious to know your thoughts and opinions. Again, before I forgot to say this at the beginning, so I'm going to say it now before I end here. But I just wanted to say that all of this is just entertainment purposes only, something that I'm fascinated about. Or that's fascinating. However, I do pray and hope that they are safe and they are found safe and sound and be able to return to their families. Again, I am not a part of the Coast Guard. I do not work for the Coast Guard. I do not work in any of the research teams. This is all for entertainment purposes only, or educational purposes only as well. And you guys have a great day, a great evening. That it is believed that all passengers on the submarine have been passed on, and there was the missing Titanic sub crew believed they were to be dead after a catastrophic explosion. And if you don't know what a catastrophic explosion is, when pressure builds up inside of a contained space and it pushes outwards as an explosion. Think of blowing up a balloon too much, and at a certain point when the material cannot take the stress anymore, it pops. Basically, is what that is. And so that is very unfortunate. And I don't know if the case is officially closed yet, but we will keep you posted. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm sorry to all those families that were affected by this. Okay, bye now.